Right, it's go time. I've got a whole load of videos that I wanted to make, and I'm gonna try and do them as quickly as I possibly can. Try and make the clips for the videos and then just upload them to YouTube quickly, because I don't want to be on the screens anywhere near as long as I have been for years now, maybe even half my life. From a very young age, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 onwards, or maybe even starting from 9, back when I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on the Xbox 360, the white one, for the first time, and when I got the Xbox Live membership for the first time, been on the screens for very, very, very long. And I don't even want to imagine what it'd be like for the babies that are born now around this time, and what it'd be like for them in the 2040s and onward. Oh my gosh, it seems like with the way how technology is advancing, it's only just going to get worse from here. But I'm going to do the best I can to improve my screen hygiene, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've, like, the way that I had dry eyes yesterday was just absolutely insane, and sometimes I'd experience it and it's just, I've just had enough of it, if I'm being honest. I don't want it anymore. As I was saying in one of the videos I made yesterday, I'd like to imagine that I'm a, what I called, health conscious individual. Those were the exact words that I used in one of the PT diary, personal training diaries. I've forgotten which one, but it was the one with me in the grey shirt and the blue cap. I believe that I live with that value, and I plan to act on that belief. And I've got solutions to be able to help myself out with this, and I don't know where they are. Oh, here they are, look. Drink more water, have some more fruits, so just eat more healthily in general, which I've started doing. And then get rid of the main reason as to why I'm feeling dry eyes in the first place, which is excessive screen usage. But I went to the opticians recently, maybe a month or so ago, and they said go for long walks and drink enough water. So go for long walks to use your long distance vision and drink enough water. So I've got glasses, but I, according to the optician, can legally drive without needing glasses whatsoever. Back when I was, say, 14, I could read from the back of the class with no problem at all, to the point that one of my pupils actually asked me, how can you see the screen from that far? But it's now got to a point where I can now see, if I look out the window, although I can see that there are leaves, it's not as clear as when I put the glasses on. It just, for me, if I can describe it to somebody else, my prescription's mild. It's minus 0.5 / minus 0.75. So if I could explain what my vision is like with and without glasses, the glasses is just like an extra top up in visual clarity to help me with long distance vision especially. But even nowadays, even last night, I saw that it was just really difficult to look at the screens without it, to look at my phone without it seeming blurry. Just wasn't, it's just not nice, and I don't even want to be looking at the phone at night anymore, because I'd rather be sleeping. I really like when I look back, at least, I really liked being able to see without needing glasses, and I don't wear contact lenses either. So the experience that I gave you in terms of what it's like with and without glasses is with me without wearing contact lenses. I don't have anything in my eyes. not that I'm against it. I don't really have a specific strong opinion on contact lenses, if I'm being honest. It's just that I just want to be able to see. My view on my eyesight is I just want to be able to see clearly without needing to use any visual aid, whether that be contact lenses or glasses. I don't want either of them. I just enjoy being able to have clear sight from these eyes alone. But I'm not sure I'll be able to have that ever again in my life because of my refractive errors. It's just natural, it's human. And some people have it way worse than me. The optician showed me what it was like to have a -6 prescription, and it was terrible. I did feel less worried about my eyesight then when she showed me that. I think that was actually her showing what her eyesight was as a child, like when she was a kid. And I had my appointment last month at 21, but yeah, the contrast between her eyesight then compared to my eyesight that short while ago was massive. But even though I can legally drive without any visual aid, I don't want it. I just enjoy being able to live with amazing eyesight. It's something that as a kid I took for granted as I was learning to exist in this world. Learned how to just get by from day to day. But now that I'm growing and developing, I want that back. And I'll do the best that I can to make that happen naturally. And if anything, I genuinely might get laser eye surgery, because it's something that I've been thinking of doing for a while, just in case my vision gets drastically worse. Which, if I'm not careful, it might be, especially with the excessive screen usage. If I wasn't excessively using screens and I had boundaries, my eyesight might have been even better than it is now, naturally, without the need of visual aid. And heck, I might not even need the glasses that I've got. But there's nothing that I could do about my past. However, what I can do is work toward having healthier eyes, even if that means my eyesight isn't clearer. If my eyes are functioning more optimally, then that's got to have some benefits to my overall health. My eyes won't feel so dry, so even then, from a well-being perspective, I'd say the condition of my eyes have improved, even if that means the eyesight doesn't. For a while now, even before that optician appointment, I just look around and look at Reg Place to try and see if I could see them clearly. And sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. I definitely couldn't in daylight. Like, my vision was had no refractive errors whatsoever. Like, extreme sunlight really helps, but other than that, even even now, for example, when I look out the back, when I look out the window, I can see what's around, and more than clearly enough. But the glasses, as I said, they just give that extra top up in visual aid and just take it to that next level, almost like my eyes are a 4K camera or something. But yeah, man, to try and help myself out, I got the time on my phone. It's saying from 2 hours 15 minutes, it's now 1 hour 57. So I'm gonna get on with doing what I need to do. To be fair, going back to this eyesight topic, maybe I could think, if my throat's feeling dry more often than it's not throughout the day, then that's probably a sign that I'm not drinking enough water. So let's do that again. This isn't supposed to be a part of the video on purpose, but it is needed. We all need to drink our fluids. And talking about excessive screen usage, there's one last topic which I'll get into after this drink. And that is scratching my head from stress, because I'd be on the screens so long, and I'd be on the screen so long because I'd be making videos, I'd be watching so many YouTube videos too. But in order to help myself out with winding down throughout the day, as I say I wanted to do, to help counteract this stress I was feeling, then I've got to reduce how much I use it for recreational activity, just consuming videos. Personally, I like music, and I just listen to music a lot. There's some tracks that I found recently that I really like, so I just listen to them over and over until I get bored of them. I've got to be careful with that. So I'd listen to music. I would look at gym videos. For example, people doing like squat PRs. That's something that I've seen recently. And what else? Just overall general exercise. Maybe like how I saw yesterday, calisthenics compilations here and there. Yeah, man. One thing. Now that I'll just go off this quick tangent, and then I'll make it all come back to this scratching in my head from stress. One thing I've noticed, and one reason why I look at those sorts of videos, is because at Sex Drive, actually, there's so many women there that I make those gym videos that I'd find myself even slightly sexually attracted to. And I've got to be careful with that, because those are no more than parasocial relationships. Now, I'm not saying that I think I'm absolutely obsessed with these individuals or loving these individuals whatsoever. No, it definitely hasn't gotten to this point, and because I'm taking care of my health, I don't think it ever will. Saying that though, I do have to be careful, because I do notice that maybe even sometimes when I go to the gym, I might be glancing involuntarily at ladies here and there more often than I'd like to, and the way how I can tell that it's my sex drive at play, which, to be fair, sex drive does increase after exercise. I mean, this is something that I've seen on Google and people talk about. I think that's just basic common knowledge. So I think that explains it, or at least my belief of this idea somewhat explains it. That is me that would be looking at them, yeah, but my sex drive, my hormones at play. And as a man, from a stereotypical perspective, focusing on your hormones isn't really all that much a priority. Now, on one hand, when I say that, I'm going to contradict myself. I'm going to say that I've seen many videos on YouTube here and there that talk about how to increase your testosterone, but I don't really see videos on YouTube that have the title of the effects of testosterone in men and how that could affect your life, or something like that. I don't doubt that those videos are out there, but personally, with women, for example, hormones are a fundamental part of their life, because it's a massive part of women's health. For example, estrogen and progesterone, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, I think, all to do with women's health and the menstrual cycle. It's a very important part that they constantly, through periods, get reminded of. The cycles over and over and over again, but as men, we don't have that same sort of reminder about males' health. Or some people might disagree with me, but I can't really think of the male equivalent of a period. Now, we obviously, with the help of testosterone flowing through our systems, a lot of testosterone flowing through our systems, obviously, women have testosterone too, but in smaller amounts on average. We have a massive sex drive, and that sex drive only increases as you age and turn into an adult, and it only increases even past that point when you start exercising too, and when you keep up with it. I think the best that I could do is to not try and fight this sex drive. I definitely go out my way to be respectful towards just people as a whole. It doesn't matter that they're women, it matters that they're people. And with I can very confidently say that I have a mutual respect for people. So I don't go out my way to stare at them, even though I could say my hormones. And although that might be true, I'm not doing that regardless. I can't say my hormones is an excuse for inappropriate behaviour. But I think the best thing I can do is not try and stop myself glancing, but instead like further understand, like really pursue learning about my hormones and how they work and how they affect what I do, how I think and what I watch. Now, there was a lady that was talking about birth control, and she was saying that hormones affect, like how they affect society through how you act and how you think. And I think the example that I've given as a guy definitely does it. It's anecdotal proof of that. There might be studies explaining how hormone balances affect society. It's definitely, I think that would definitely help me. That'd help me learn more about myself and more about how other people act. It'd help me make more sense of the world and why we as men with our male brains act a certain way, think a certain way, carry ourselves a certain way, versus why women carry themselves in a certain way and why they think in a certain way, etc. But in terms of how I act in the gym again, it's gotten to a point where I can focus on my gym sessions. But sometimes I might want to talk to a lady because I find her at least somewhat sexually attractive. So now, if people are interested in this and they want to comment, I say go ahead, but this is my opinion. If you are not willing to speak to someone because you're genuinely interested in what they're doing and only because of sexual attractiveness, it's somewhat predatory, I think. Maybe not necessarily sex offender behaviour, but when I say predatory, I mean like from an animalistic perspective where you see like how a predator would look. When I say predator, not sex offender, I mean more like from an animalistic perspective again. You'd see the prey, or the in this context the person that you want to speak to, and then you in a sense pounce and go and speak to them to see if they're interested, and then they might, again from an animalistic perspective, they might try and get away or try and escape, or they might want to be eaten up. To put it like that. Is that inappropriate? I'm not quite sure. I'd say it definitely can be. For example, if you are interrupting someone during a workout, that is not the time. But if someone, for example, has had a really long break, then is that inappropriate? Because it's not like you're disturbing their workout all that much. They've had a long break and they're still having that break. But yeah, cut a long story short, hormones definitely, at least from what I experience, have a part in how I carry myself, the sorts of thoughts I think, and the sort of videos I watch. Like, the sorts of like heavy legs workouts. But when people talk about training legs, it seems like nowadays they just talk about training upper legs, like quads and hamstrings, and that's it. Look, people don't really think about calves, and that would explain why so many people have small calves. But anyway, going off topic. So, to bring that back and make it relevant to what I was saying, this is all a part of why I'd be over consuming and why I get to a point where I'd be scratching my head. Hormones from the sorts of videos that I watch, especially after exercise, man. It's like how one of the articles I read on Google said, like, especially after exercise, I'd be thinking sexual thoughts, especially if I'm, for example, watching a lady with clear cut, strong abs, and you can just see them pop out, and the abdominal walls are so strong in that, and they're just doing their workout, taking care of their health. Just after an exercise session, I might find that really sexy. But it actually has got to a point where, with the sort of videos you watch, you just seem. At one point, it got to an extent that I actually felt uncomfortable with this one of the sort of videos that I watched. For example, again with the abs, I just saw a lady who was making just a meal, but the camera was a shot of her abs and then the wooden table of her making her food. But that was it. It wasn't like it was just her. It was. I just found that really weird. I found that really, really strange. But if it's, say, like someone just working out and you just see their abs because they're wearing, for example, a crop top or something, or gym wear, then is that a problem? Is that okay? I mean, it's not like I'm having sex offender sort of thoughts. It's not the thoughts that I'm having are unlawful. It's okay to have a sex drive. It's okay to want to have sex with people and to think that they're sexually attractive. Now, that isn't to say I'd want to have sex with those people I'd see online, but it's okay to feel sexually attracted to some people here and there after exercise, and just in general as a whole. It wasn't like what I was thinking was freaky, but cut a long story short, I definitely should stay careful with that. Definitely. But going back to why I was feeling so much stress outside of just watching those sorts of videos, it all adds up. Those videos, the music, what else? Maybe learning a bit about exercise here and there, maybe about specific moves or something, and maybe other things that are on my mind that I use the internet for, because I don't just use the internet for YouTube. Yeah, man. Just go try and restrict it as much as I can, really. And I think that will at least help me, and I can make regular updates as to what's going on. But for now, man, that's it. Just finito. I'm done. And cheers to taking care of myself and thinking in a more healthy way. Peace.